after the recent revelations from first John Boyega and then Daisey Ridley over the handling of their respective characters. Even the entertainment media complex has been forced to admit what the fans already knew, that Disney's Star Wars sequel trilogy maybe wasn't all that after all. On the contrary, it might have seriously damaged the brand. But Disney does have a new hope in The Mandalorian, a hit with fans and critics alike upon release. The Mandalorian showed both fans and Disney executives alike that there still may be a path forward for Star Wars. And against the backdrop of Disney hemorrhaging money due to a worldwide park shutdown, the success of The Mandalorian, their Disney Plus flagship, is incredibly important. It would be a shame if anything bad were to happen to The Mandalorian. In this video then, we will explore the recent rumors which suggest that the Mandalorian himself, star Pedro Pascal, allegedly walked out on the series in the middle of production. To this end, we'll cover the origin of the rumor, relay what we have heard from our own sources, see if there are any external indications that this might be true, and if we were to assume that there is truth to this rumor, what it might mean for the future of The Mandalorian. Up until this point, there haven't really been any troubling rumors emanating from behind the scenes of The Mandalorian. On the contrary, this was the first Star Wars property which was said to not be under the stewardship of Lucasfilm president Kathleen Kennedy, but instead Disney CEO Bob Iger, and his appointees Dave Filoni and Jon Favreau. The first season was widely regarded as a return to form for Star Wars after 3 lackluster movies. And the trailer for the second season holds the promise of more of the same. And its diminutive star, the alien referred to by the fandom as Baby Yoda. The second season will also introduce the fan-favorite Jedi named Ahsoka Tano, played by Rosario Dawson. Rumors from back in February also claim that Kathleen Kennedy had been banned from the set, which from a fan point of view is good news. But then there is this. On September 2nd, entertainment YouTuber Grace Randolph claimed across a series of tweets that the trailer for Season 2 of The Mandalorian had to be delayed due to reshoots, and that there was a big problem with the show when they were filming, but that it had been dealt with. Randolph then claimed that the problem stemmed from the usual disagreements between Lucasfilm and their creators. More recently, Randolph provided more detail, claiming that Pedro Pascal had become difficult during the filming of Season 2. According to Randolph's sources, Pedro Pascal demanded more scenes without the helmet, and that he petitioned the series' creative team to get it. Unfortunately for him, they would not budge, as a Mandalorian is kind of defined by his armor, especially the helmet. Not taking a no for a no, Pascal then violated the chain of command and went over their heads and straight to the tops of Lucasfilm, asking them to intervene on his behalf.
What? You went over my helmet?
Randolph then said, so when Pedro Pascal went to Lucasfilm, the Mando team was like, you know what, you should just go. And Pedro Pascal did. So that happened about halfway through filming. But Disney thinks they were able to work around this, because Randolph also claims that footage filmed prior to his departure could be sprinkled throughout the season to make it feel more whole, and they will fill in the blanks with these other character stories. Grace Randolph is a controversial figure, and she has gotten things wrong before, but she knocked it out of the park with her DC and Snyder Cut coverage. And she even scored an interview with Zack Snyder himself, so any scoop of hers should not be dismissed outright. At the time of making this video, the trades have yet to either confirm or deny the scoop, but we have heard a similar claim from at least one other place with industry connections. That did not get the information from Grace. To be clear, this corroboration does not come from any of our sources, so we can only relay what we heard. This, let's call it rumor, suggests that Pascal and Jon Favreau were at odds over Pascal's desire to have more scenes with the Mandalorian unmasked. Things escalated when Pascal attempted to bypass Filoni and Favreau and go directly to Lucasfilm with the expressed goal of implementing an excessive amount of script changes. For this, it wasn't merely politely suggested that maybe he should leave, he was summarily shown the door. This is a pretty solid corroboration of Grace Randolph's account of the events. If you've followed our coverage before, you'll know that we too have some sources with ties to Disney and Lucasfilm. So, what do our own sources have to say about this specific rumor? As usual, we must preface by saying that anything we are about to relay cannot be independently verified at this time. Therefore, it must be considered as rumor and taken with a daily dose of recommended sodium intake. On this one, though, we can only provide so much. In fact, I already revealed what we knew back on September 15th on the Critical Drinkers 500k subscribers celebratory livestream. That was before these rumors had started circulating, and there the conversation turned to The Mandalorian. There, I shared what we thus far have learned from our sources about Season 2. Namely, that at some point during the season there will be a narrative shift. We had not yet run with this story on Midnight's Edge, because we still do not know what this narrative shift specifically means. It could mean a new direction, and it could mean a new point of view character. We also do not know if this narrative shift was driven by a deliberate creative choice, or if it was brought on by an external event, such as, for instance, the lead character walking out. It is not outside the realm of possibility that Pedro Pascal departing could be behind the rumor that reached us about a narrative shift. But again, we do not know that it is. Our sources are investigating the matter though, so we will update you if and when we learn more. For now though, let us for the sake of discussion assume that this rumor is not without merit. Are there any external indications that support it? By all outwardly appearances, there does not appear to be anything to support this rumor. Pedro Pascal is positively promoting Season 2 on Twitter, including attempting to get the meme "Baby don't play, this is the way" trending on social media. He also did an interview with GQ Germany, where he talked a little bit about the Mandalorian and how the costume compared to his costume as Oberyn on Game of Thrones. And he is still actively engaging with his castmates, such as Gina Carano, to whom he mansplained the importance of putting one's proper, non-sarcastic pronouns in one's Twitter handle. The details of that are best served in another video, but clearly, Pedro Pascal and Gina Carano are in communication. All of this would appear to show that Pedro Pascal is indeed still promoting and therefore part of the show. But it also does not disprove the rumor that he might have been shown the door. As an actor, he is still under contract, and that does not change. Consider Ben Affleck. John Campea first broke the scoop that he walked out on the role of Batman back in February of 2017. But Affleck still insisted he was Batman and that his movie was coming until long after the Joss Whedon cut of Justice League had left theaters. It wasn't until 2 years later, when everyone kind of took for granted that he was out anyway, that it was officially confirmed that he was done with the role. Or at least, he was then. We now know that he is making a comeback, and depending on the reception to the Snyder Cut, he might still make his Batman movie for HBO Max. As for Pedro Pascal's alleged desire to show his face more, that is a point of view many in the industry will probably be understanding towards. Case in point, while the face of Judge Dredd has never been revealed to the readers of the comic strip, this aspect of the character was scrapped in the 1995 feature film starring Sylvester Stallone, as making a Stallone vehicle was the priority, not preserving the integrity of the character. In the 2012 movie, this was reversed, and star Karl Urban only accepted the role because the helmet wouldn't come off. And that was more important to him as a fan than showing his face on screen. The result was a great movie, and fans demand a sequel to it to this day. By contrast, no one wanted a sequel to Judge Stallone. Also, Dredd is one of Urban's own favorite performances, but that was Karl Urban and Dredd. At that time, Karl Urban had already established himself in such films as Lord of the Rings and 2009 Star Trek. By contrast, Pedro Pascal's star is still on the rise, being primarily known for his role in Game of Thrones, and with the upcoming role in Wonder Woman, it's understandable that an actor at this point in his career would like his face to be more recognizable to the public. Pascal most likely signed on to a leading role in a Star Wars series hoping to show off his face more, and not to be relegated to functionally being merely a voice actor, even though that is what the role calls for. We must again emphasize that we do not know if the rumor about Pascal's alleged departure is true, but even if it is, then at the very least in the short term, it might not derail things that much. It's not like Pedro Pascal's face is front and center here. It is my understanding that Pascal was cast well into production of Season 1, with a stuntman standing in for him behind the mask on set. Many have pointed out that the series could easily continue in much the same way for the time being, until the role may be recast, or cooler heads prevail and Pascal resumes the role himself. Of course, this will not be until the character's fates are revealed towards the end of the second season. With rumors swirling of many different spin-off series, the fate of The Mandalorian appears not to be completely set in stone, so they can go in many different directions from here, either way. Now, do you think there is truth to these rumors about Pascal having left, or is it much ado about nothing? Let us know your thoughts and what you think might happen going forward in the comments.